Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. After a day away, not having a show, we're back hitting the ground running. And today is an important one because I need your feedback. And it's all in regards to upcoming streams and games. Tomorrow night, we've got an open night stream, and we can figure out what we're going to do for that. And now that we have completed Lies of P Overture, and we're about to complete Onimusha 2 Remastered, we're going to have time in the schedule for another game. But which one? Plus, we'll talk about Death Stranding 2 and how people are reacting to it. So, sit back and relax. It is time for some chill fun. It's time for the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, the 25th of June, 2025. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast. So, today's an important one and an interesting one because we got to get caught up on everything, but also we have to now determine the future. We have some downtime. And so, with that freedom, we have to figure out what we want to do with these streams that are upcoming, unless we're just going to play Death Stranding 2 every day. So I think we should figure out, something else for the rotation so that we have some variety, okay? So I hope I find you all in good spirits. Welcome back. We did not have a podcast yesterday. And now it's been about, 3 weeks or so since we've been alternating days when I do the podcast, or some days I do like an abridged podcast, and then I'll do a full show the next day. How is this working? Let's give you all an update on this, okay? Quite honestly, I think it's working pretty well. And the reason I say that is, if you haven't noticed, we have actually been wrapping up and finishing games. We've been making more progress in said games because I'm doing about an hour to an hour and a half of extra gameplay on the days that we're not doing this show. So, for example, Clair Obscur, we turboed through and were able to actually finish the main story of the game because we skipped this podcast. Onimusha 2, when it premiered. Lies of P, we did a couple full stream gameplay sessions rather than doing this show. So it's working, okay? And the thing is, I love doing this show, to be honest with all of you. I really do. It's one of my favorite things to do is to hang out with all of you, talk about anything going on in the world in gaming, seeing what's on your mind, talking about the schedule and stuff we're going to do together is awesome, right? It's great celebratory stuff. I love it. But when it's at the expense that we're getting locked up and hung up on games and we're not finishing them, I think that we have to be smarter than that. And that's the feedback I was getting over the last maybe 6 months is, you don't always have anything to talk about on the show. Do you have to do one every day? And the answer is no. So to give you a perfect example here, all right, tomorrow, Thursday, there will not be a Level 1 podcast. Why? Because tomorrow is the premiere of Death Stranding 2. So we'll do a little mini 20-minute show before we start, and then we'll play a good 4 solid hours of Death Stranding 2 for the release. I think that makes a lot more sense, because what else am I going to do? I'm going to be talking about Death Stranding 2 on a podcast anyway, so there you go. Now, on Friday, my final streaming day of this week, I do want to do a podcast. Why? Because if you're not aware, tomorrow afternoon, Capcom is doing a big digital event where they're supposed to do big updates on games like Pragmata, the new Street Fighter 6 Season Pass coming out, Resident Evil Requiem, and more. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going down that I would like to react to and talk about on a podcast on Friday. Do you see? So that's what I think. we should do moving forward. Some weeks we'll have more podcasts if there's more to talk about and more going on, if there's game news. And other weeks we may have fewer, but there will still be a good amount of them every week. I would love to hear your feedback on this, everyone. Like, do you like the fact that I haven't done it as often, but we've gotten further in games? Do you miss doing the podcast every day? Share your thoughts. You can always leave a comment on this on the on-demand video. You can tag me in the chat here. Let me know exactly what you think, because your feedback is key to me doing the right thing and improving the content, okay? So let me know. Cool. Now, in regards to everything and where we are, yesterday we finished Lies of P Overture, the DLC, all right? And what I would like to do before we get into talking about the next DSP Tries It reward, which I have set up and we're going to discuss and get hyped for today, and before we talk about upcoming games and streams, I want to talk about Lies of P from yesterday, all right? Now, I didn't do a podcast yesterday. We started Lies of P around like 12:15, all right? All I really had left in Lies of P was a 15-minute segment finishing up this like library dungeon, and then it was the final boss, okay? Now, I don't want to completely spoil it, but the final boss of Lies of P is incredibly reminiscent of the Melania boss fight in Elden Ring. What do I mean? I mean, hands down, it is the hardest thing in all of the base game of Lies of P and this DLC. It's like exponentially harder than anything, okay? That's number one. Number two, it is a multi-phase boss fight where you have to completely master the first phase because you need to be maxed out to beat the second phase. And between the phases, there is a ginormous, pretty much nearly unavoidable, insane flurry of crazy attacks that you have to figure out how to avoid and survive to even get a chance to face the second phase. Outside of that, it's different. Obviously, the final boss is not Melania, doesn't have similar attacks, but it's the same premise, okay? I get it. This is their final DLC. Now they're going to work on the sequel. They wanted to go out with a bang. Makes sense, but for me, it was a little underwhelming because it felt like I was just doing Melania again. And it did feel a little disappointing. I was hoping for something more original, and it just felt like, here we go again, we're starting over. So here's the deal. I spent over 2.5 hours fighting this boss. For the most part, outside of, not doing perfectly every run, I did master the first phase. I was able to parry the living crap out of the first phase of this boss and arguably get to the second phase, sometimes nearly unscathed, okay? Problem is, that transition to the second phase, that giant flurry of insane, unstoppable attacks is ridiculous. Even if you, perfect parry the whole thing, you still lose a lot of health, so you end up having to pump some heals or whatever. Then you get into the second phase. The second phase is incredibly frustrating because the boss has insane reach, insane speed, super armor, and area of effect attacks, and grabs. So basically, it's everything from a Soulsborne game in one. It's not even like one archetype. It's every archetype smashed together. Now, I'm not saying that it's unbeatable. I don't think anything in these games is unbeatable, but I was having a hard time consistently getting past the first phase, getting past the giant, unstoppable attack, and getting to the second phase consistently enough so that then I could actually learn its patterns, all right? So I tried so hard, really. I'm talking 2.5 hours of me doing my absolute damnedest to try to get through this thing. Now, admittedly, the game developers knew that this being such an insane difficulty spike compared to the rest of the game, there were going to be people who were going to be enjoying this game up to that point and been like, oh crap, I can't beat it now, this sucks. So they put a story-based crutch at the final boss. There is the legendary Stalker character who you've been seeking out the entirety of the DLC, and she is sitting there on the ground hurt, and if you help her up, she now becomes your co-op partner for the final boss fight, both phases, okay? She also can't die. If she happens to lose all of her health, You can run over to her and help her up again, and then she gets her health back, and the fight continues as a co-op fight. So I did my absolute best, all right, trying to beat this thing on my own. And the thing is, I absolutely, positively know I could. I've done tougher. I actually feel like Elden Ring, the DLC from last year with Radon or whatever as the final boss, was harder than this Lies of P final boss. Okay, I do feel that way. But take a look at Melania, take a look at the Radon fight. Those took multiple streams. I'm tapped out and done with Lies of P at this point. Like, I just don't want to play any more of it. So I was ready to finish this thing. That's why I didn't do the podcast yesterday. I wanted to have enough time to ensure I was beating it. Okay? So after 2.5 hours of me arduously trying to beat this thing without the summon, I'm not kidding you, the chat was yelling at me saying, Phil, you've got to finish this today. We don't want another stream of it. Just help up the legendary stalker. Do the co-op. Just finish it. So I really didn't want to do it, and I was being so stubborn, and people were like, oh, Phil's back to his stubborn self again. He's not listening, and he's... And people are right. I don't want to be told I can't do something. You know what I'm saying? And I know I could have done it. It just would have been a pain in the ass. It would have been frustrating. It would have been another stream that everyone had to suffer through. So I said, you know what? For once, I'm not going to be a stubborn idiot, and I'm going to listen. And I did. So I started using the co-op, and within, I think it was 3 tries, I did beat the final boss with the co-op aspect of it. Now, was it the same? No, of course not. It was definitely different, different fight with their pulling the aggro quite a lot and you're getting a lot of cheap hits on the final boss. Even then, it wasn't easy, because guess what happens? Just like with Melania, and again, this is what I mean. It's like a cheap copy, which I wish they didn't do it this way. Just like with the Melania fight in Elden Ring, when you're nearing the end of the fight, the boss decides to do that insane flurry of unstoppable attacks again, and you have to completely avoid it or survive it again, and now you've been fighting the boss for a while, so you probably have no healing. So that's what I mean. Like, it 100%, the pattern of the way the boss was designed blatantly copied Melania on purpose. They wanted this to be their last hurrah like she was, right? So anyway, without spoiling, the ending was awesome. I'm just going to put it that way. Like, when I beat the final boss, it actually was cool. And then yesterday was DSP Tries It. So as the food was being delivered, we had some extra time, and I did the epilogue stuff. We went and we saw the outcome of the girl puppet who you've been helping as an NPC throughout the entire DLC. And we went and saw, we got all the special equipment. We tried on the outfit and tried the sword that you get for beating it. So we did the kind of endgame epilogue stuff, which was nice. It was a good send-off, because now we're not going to see Lies of P for a while. I bet you the sequel won't come out for at least a couple of years. So it was good. Now, hilarious part about all this is, of course, idiots on the internet complaining, saying, Phil didn't actually beat Lies of P. He rage quit, he this and that. All right, I'm just going to explain something to you. All right? I have legitimately beat Melania multiple times. I legitimately beat Radon. I legitimately beat everything in Elden Ring. I didn't do the clone summon. What is it? The cheer summon or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. Everyone else did that. I didn't do that. I went through all of these FromSoft games legit without summon assisting. I know I can do it if I felt like it, but here's the truth of it. I don't get anything for it. All right? I don't get a ginormous feeling of self-accomplishment saying, I beat this game without summons. It's never happened. All right? And the few times that I have actually performed above the average when it comes to these games, nobody cares. I'll give you an example. Sekiro. At first, Sekiro was very rough and it beat my ass. By the end of the game, I mastered the parry system. I beat the final boss in 3 tries. It only took me 15 minutes. It took everyone else 15 hours. Everyone complained the final boss of Sekiro was one of the most insanely difficult things ever. I just kicked his ass. I literally embarrassed the final boss. I bullied him. I bullied the final boss and kept breaking him with the special move or the special item. And it was hilarious. People were laughing like, what the fuck just happened? How did Phil do that? It's like an opposite day, right? Now, did anyone care when that happened? Was I showered with praise? Did everyone say, wow, Darkside Phil is great. Give this guy some credit. Did someone come and drop thousands of dollars on my stream? No, no one cared. No one cared at all. It doesn't matter. You understand? It doesn't. There's no big reward. No one's going to come to my house and hand me a trophy and a title belt. No one's going to make, wow, Dark Side Phil is so amazing. Let's praise this guy and come and get, no one gives a shit. So if I spent another stream and I legit beat the final boss of Lies of P Overture without summoning, no one would care. So that's why I said, fuck this, and I did the summon, and I said, we're done with it. So if you have a problem with that, I don't know what else to say, but do it yourself. If you have a problem with someone beating a game in a certain way when the mechanic is there, then buy the game and beat it yourself. Simple enough. I'm not going to sit here and listen to idiots who are going to scream, because the truth is, if I took my time and I did another stream of this game, everyone would complain, Phil did it the wrong way, this is boring, why is he still playing this? He should have just summoned. So then I summon, oh, why'd he summon? He cheated. No, I don't care. You're literally, your opinion is irrelevant. I'm good with the way I beat it. We did a great stream where we did the epilogue content. All done. Moving on. Tough titties. Okay. Still to this day, people make excuses. Someone in the kick chat just said, Sword Saint Ishin's AI shit the bed. He let Phil beat him with the hatchet. That would never happen again. They're still making excuses to this day that I beat Sekiro so easily. Anyway, so we're done with Lies of P. I hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. I actually did. I really enjoyed the playthrough. And thanks for watching. And to those who supported it, awesome. Now we're moving on, and we have some space in the schedule as a result of me beating Lies of P Overture yesterday. Okay? Briefly, let's talk about the schedule. Today it is Onimusha 2 Remastered completing. I'm very excited to see how it ends. I really liked this playthrough. However, I have noticed definitely this playthrough had way less attendance, way less engagement, and way less interest. Not support. Interestingly enough, the playthrough has been supported. But compared to the first one, it just doesn't seem like a lot of people were too interested, which is weird because people were actually excited to see me play this game when I played the first one. They were like, oh, you're playing the next one? I was like, yeah, I will. But it doesn't seem like, what's going on with this thing? There we go. But it doesn't seem like people were that engaged or interested this time. If you're watching, thank you. I really like it, and I'm excited for the new one coming out next year. After this, we're definitely going to give Onimusha a break. There is other Onimusha games, but they haven't been remade for modern, versions yet. So we're just going to wait till the new one comes out next year, all right? So stick around after the podcast if you would like to see me check out or finish up the game and see the ending and all of that, okay? I'm excited to see how it will complete, in the story and everything. And the gameplay, too. The gameplay elements have been great, okay? So... There you go. Ellipsian says, I actually haven't played the second remaster yet. I'll watch your playthrough after. I mean, it came out late last month, and we skipped it at the time because I was in the midst of too many playthroughs, but now we had time to do it, which is why it fit into the schedule. Late stream tonight, Taxi Life, a car driving simulator in Barcelona, Spain. We played this last week as a second game to use my, peripheral, the wheel, the G920 Logitech wheel. And it works beautifully. In fact, it has better force feedback than the truck driving sim game does. But, oh my goodness, this game is hectic. Unlike truck driving sim, which is way more relaxed and we can interact and I have my white claws and we chill, this game is like, there's pedestrians everywhere. Constant stop and go, traffic out the ass. It's actually like driving in a very busy city, and it's completely different. I still liked it. I had a good time with it last week. And we had a lot of fun with, oh, is that a ghost in my car? Why are there people appearing in seats randomly and stuff? But at the same time, I think some people were off-put because they were expecting it to be more like Truck Sim where we could hang out more, and that's not what it was like. We will do a second stream tonight. Actually, someone sent me some recommendations. They said there is a way visually that you can lean forward in your taxi cab so you can see the lights. Remember, my problem is I can't see the traffic lights right now. So they said, yeah, there actually is a command that your character goes like this and looks up at the lights. So we'll see if we can figure that out tonight and see if we can get it to work. But I hope you'll join me tonight, 6:45 or 7 p.m.-ish Pacific time. 2 hours of chill fun. Yes, I'll be having some White Claws and drinks and stuff tonight while we play it. It should be a good time. I hope you'll come by and hang out with me. Okay? Tomorrow is the premiere of Death Stranding 2. So I will not do a podcast tomorrow. We'll just do a little bit of an intro thing. All right? And I hope that you will hang out with me as we check this out tomorrow as a 4-hour stream. Truth is, I'm hearing good things about Death Stranding 2. I'm being told the game is more streamlined and the gameplay is less boring and not as tedious. There's more improvements to the stealth and combat this time around, and that the deliveries aren't as bad. Like, there are deliveries, but it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this for the next hour and a half and it's insanely boring, put me to sleep. The deliveries are there, but they're not like actual misery. So I guess we'll see. Tomorrow, we'll jump into it head first, okay? I'm also going to be doing Death Stranding 2 as the day stream on Friday, but we are going to do a podcast to cover the Capcom event happening tomorrow afternoon. And then Friday night is Friday Night Fights, Street Fighter 2, or excuse me, Capcom vs. SNK 2. We had a lot of fun with that last week, learning new characters. We'll continue on with that fun on Friday night. And I'm off from streaming on Saturday, okay? Now, you may have noticed I skipped a stream there. You're like, wait, what about Thursday night? You didn't mention what you're doing on Thursday night. You're right, because Thursday night is actually open. And what I mean by that is on Thursday night, we have options, okay? And I'd like to go over those with you right now and see what you guys think. If you have any ideas, what you'd like me to do on Thursday night, okay? Option number 1 for Thursday night is that we do a second Minecraft stream for the week. I wouldn't be opposed to doing a second Minecraft stream for the week. I'd be okay with that. When we do Minecraft, it's kind of a mixed bag. And what I mean by that is there's some people who really like Minecraft and get engaged with it, and others tend to think it's boring, which is weird because people asked me to bring back Minecraft for 5 years after I stopped playing it in 2020. So I did. And some people have really been enjoying the mods and everything we're doing. And others are just like, wow, this is boring. Well, it's Minecraft. What did you think it was? It's the same that it's always been. Yes, we're doing different things with the mods and stuff. I think it's actually been a more interesting playthrough because of the mods. But, do we want to do a second stream of Minecraft tomorrow night? If not, then what do we want to do? We have some options. I have an option that I don't think anyone thought of. We have not just done a Chill with Phil night in a very long time. Remember Chill with Phil? Where we just hang out together and we just do whatever. We talk, we do Q&A. Sometimes we'll look stuff up. I'll react to stuff. It's just a chill stream. Like, I'd be down for Chill with Phil because we haven't done one of these in a while. We were doing streams like that when I was building Legos. Remember that? And we were doing streams like that over the course of earlier this year, but we kind of phased them out. And now we haven't really just hung out in a very long time. So we could do a Chill with Phil hangout session tomorrow night if you so want to just do that. I'm okay with that, all right? Now, outside of that, is there anything else that we can do? Well, yeah. I mean, I got a gaming PC. We can do anything. We could literally open Steam and grab a game. We could open Game Pass and grab a game and just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with whatever you guys want, but I don't want to feel like I'm stuck doing a gameplay stream tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people are like, well, if you're not going to play Minecraft, what are you going to play? Well, we don't have to do anything. We can just hang out. That's okay. So let's see, like, what do you guys think? I'm just curious. What is your thoughts on a tomorrow night stream? Maybe want to do some polling, maybe? Want to do some polls? Let's do that. And again, the poll won't 100% determine anything, but at least I can field your opinions on this, like what you would like to do tomorrow night for a late stream. Here, let's do a poll both on Kick and on YouTube. And we had triple streaming. Good Lord. Triple streaming. And then I would stream to Facebook. And then I would stream to TikTok. I don't think you can stream to TikTok, can you? All right, the poll is up. Please vote. Would you like Minecraft, Chill with Phil, or random games for tomorrow night's late night stream? Let's see what you guys have to say about that. DJ and DJ just did the very first contribution of the morning, a $2 super chat. They said, Indie night, why don't you do 2 or 3 smaller indie games? Well, let me put it this way. If there's a recommendation of 2 or 3 smaller indie games where like in a half an hour to 40 minutes, we could get a good taste of them, I would say that makes sense. Problem is typically, I would argue you got to play a game for an hour or two before you really get a good flavor if it's good and you want to keep playing it. If you remember earlier this year, we were doing that. Remember, we did game about digging a hole, mouthwashing, kiosk. We were doing like random indie games, and then somehow we got distracted and stopped doing them. Like, I'd be down to jump in and maybe pick another random indie game and try it out tomorrow night and see if it works for a playthrough or not. Okay? Cool. Okay, so please vote. Let's see what you guys have to say. Now, while you're voting, guess what? Yesterday, we determined what the next DSP tries it's going to be. It's going to be an actual pretty interesting one. I'm actually excited for this one. Okay? So, the next DSP tries it will be. Is it on? It is. Okay. The new Grillo's Pickles menu. This is not at Sonic yet. It's only at limited locations. Okay? So you can't actually get this at Sonic as of yet. But it launches on June 30th. So a mere 5 days from now at all Sonic locations nationwide. So what is available in the new Grillo's Pickles menu at Sonic? First of all, either a double or triple Sonic Smasher, but it's the Big Dill Edition. So what comes in that? Sonic's famous Smasher featuring hand-smashed and seasoned Angus beef patties, layered with 2 slices of melted American cheese, dill pickle seasoned crispy cucumbers. So I guess, I don't know what that means, like crispy cucumbers. It looks like they're cooked. They almost look like cucumber chips. Do you see that? Dilly ranch. So apparently it's a ranch sauce with like dill in it. And Grillo's pickles, or pickle chips, I should say, also with lettuce and a pillow soft potato bun. That looks pretty good, actually. Like, that looks delicious. I tried their smash burger back in the fall, and I thought that their smash burger was second best. We tried 3 of them. We tried Jack in the Box, Sonic, and Shake Shack. Shake Shack was the best because Shake Shack had this crispy edges and char flavor to it. But this one actually wasn't bad at all for a burger. I said I would like to go back and try it again. Well, here you go. Here's a special edition of it that we could do for DSP Tries It. Okay? So that's exciting. Now, they also have seasoned tots and groovy fries that have this like pickle dill seasoning on it. But the thing that I think is more interesting than that is the Picklerita Slush. Sonic's sweet slush featuring a bold flavor mix of pickle juice and tart lime with pickle juiced flavored bubbles and a Grillo's pickle chip floating on top. So it's basically a lime slush with the flavor of pickle mixed in, and they're saying pickle bubbles. And I guess someone said what it is. It's like, you ever had a boba tea? So basically it's a boba tea bubble with pickle flavoring in it. That's what it is. Okay. By the way, is that, yeah, I want to make sure that was 60 frames. We may have some technical issues today, everyone. If you're wondering why, it's because yesterday I finally did Windows Update for the first time in 6 months. Because last time I was trying to do Windows updates, it bricked my cameras. So I held off for 6 months to do it. And then finally I did it yesterday, and it seems like everything's working. I'm shocked, but it seems like everything's working. But we had a little bit of technical issue earlier. My mic was off because for some reason it got deselected in OBS as a result of the update. Well, now it works again. But we may have some technical issues, so I'm checking here. It looks like the camera's fine, right? We're 60 frames and everything. Okay. All right, so the next DSP Tries It will be the Sonic X Grillo's Pickles collaborative menu. All right. It launches on the 30th. So that is, what's today? The 25th. So Monday? It launches Monday. So we can do it as early as Monday. All right. Which I'd be down for. In fact, that would be perfect if we actually do it on Monday when it actually releases. So I hope that you guys are interested. I am. I want to see what the heck this is all about. And hopefully we can keep that support coming and hit the goals. I'd like to do it the day it comes out. It would be great. All right. So let's get it going. Let's do a pickle fest and do it on Monday if we hit all the goals. If you do the math in your head, all right, we're at 32 right now. So today we hit 2 goals. That's 34. Tomorrow, 2 more. That's 36. Friday, 38. If we hit the 2 goals on Sunday, we do it Monday. Perfect. So we just got to hit those goals. Let's get it going, all right? So please, if you like the content, support the streams. That means super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships on the YouTube side. That means subs and gifted subs over on the Kick side. And of course, you can tip no matter where you are via PayPal. You could use the tips link, which is !tip in the chat. It's the chat command. Please, let's get some support going. All right. I'm actually excited because I loved their smash burger. And I love pickles. So I think this is going to be a really good DSP tries it for once. I probably will like it all. I hope. Cool. All right, so the polls have concluded. All right. And here's what we have for the polls. By the way, what's going on, everyone? Because a lot of people are saying hello. What's up, King Michael? NJZ says, that looks really tasty. I agree. Heavy Rain says, I actually had the Wendy's Takis meal yesterday. Mine was missing the creamed corn, too. Apparently, the creamed corn spread wasn't well received, so they've shelved it early. What the hell? No one's getting the creamed corn spread? Well, that's dumb because that's supposed to be an integral part of the sandwich, so it's not dry. So they're literally serving dry chicken sandwiches nationwide? What a bunch of assholes. I mean, that is ripping people off because it says right on the menu that's what you're getting. If you pay for something and they decide to not give you an ingredient, you have been cheated. Well, screw Wendy's. They can kiss my hairy ass because that disappointed me a lot. I'm actually upset, and I'm not going to Wendy's for a while. That's it. They've insulted me for the last time, let me tell you. All right, so taking a look at the poll results, over on Kick, 15 people voted for random games, 9 people voted for Chill with Phil, 2 people voted for Minecraft, and apparently we have like 45 people who don't vote. Wow. Okay, well, thank you for that. So they want random games. On the YouTube side, 51 people 50% of people voted for random games, 29% voted for Chill with Phil, 21% voted for Minecraft. So we've already made the determination we're not doing Minecraft, right? Like, unequivocally, you don't want Minecraft tomorrow. Fair enough, okay? Got it. So I'd be down for a night where we can maybe do a couple random games, or maybe just one random game and try it and see if it's any good. But I guess we would need to, what we do, jump into Steam, and then you guys recommend, and we look at some games and decide if we're going to try one? All right. I'm okay with that. Here's the thing. I love Minecraft. I really do. But I get it. Maybe you don't want to do too much. You don't want Minecraft to overload. And I'm okay with doing it once a week. It's been working once a week, has been working well. Much like Truck Sim, you don't want to do it more than once a week, then it doesn't feel special. It feels like it's oversaturation, right? Okay. All right, so I guess tomorrow night, we're going to have a random chill night where we're going to hang out, enjoy each other's company. We're going to jump into probably Steam, I would think, unless there's something on Game Pass you guys recommend. But we'll probably look at Steam. We'll see what's there and maybe try something new. All right. Or if we just hang out, we hang out. I guess we'll treat it like that. We'll treat it as a chill hangout session stream where we may play a game if we find a good one or not. Okay. That's tomorrow night's stream then. All right. Good. See, I'm glad we had this talk because this is what I need to figure out. Okay. Cool. All right. Now, okay. So we have one other major thing to talk about on today's show. And this one's kind of important. All right. So yesterday, I finished up Lies of P Overture. Excellent. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Today, we're finishing Onimusha 2 Remastered. It's a very short game, right? I think at this point, we're only like 9 parts in. Are we even 9 parts in? 8 parts? 7 parts? 7 parts? I feel like we're longer than that. Are we not? Hold on a second here. Are we serious? Is it really that short of a playthrough? We are only 7 parts in. So the game is really short, actually. Now, keep in mind, some of those parts are about an hour and a half long. But I was told that Onimusha 2 Remastered was about a 10 to 15-hour game, depending on how hard of a time you have with it. And I'm playing on the standard difficulty, so it hasn't been that tough. Okay, so today we're going to finish it. We'll wrap it up. But that means right now, all we have going, all right, is Death Stranding 2 and 1 weekly stream of Blueprints in the rotation for daytime streams. Okay? So if you look at the schedule, which we just looked at recently, the next major game that I'm interested in is the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 collection. That comes out on July 11th. So actually, we have a opening in the schedule. Unless we're going to be doing Death Stranding literally every single daytime stream, which I don't think anyone wants. I think that people want alternation so that we don't get bored of doing the same thing over and over, right? We have to figure out another game to put into the rotation until Tony Hawk comes out. By the way, after Tony Hawk comes out, there's a whole other week. And then finally on the 17th, we have multiple games coming out that are finally going to get us busy again. In RoboCop, Rogue City, Unfinished Business, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Okay, so once we get to the 17th, we'll be pretty darn busy with new games. But we have a while. And so, taking a look at things, I guess the question is, what do we want to do? And I feel like we do have a lot of options. Hold on one second. I'm deleting a whole bunch of stuff off my desktop. Let me do. There we go. I just sorted out my desktop. I could actually sort it out even more. I can delete even more. Oh my God, look at all this crap on my desktop. I don't know where it came from. I know what it is for some reason my computers are synced. I never intended to do that, but I auto-synced them by accident. So now anything on one desktop syncs to the other desktop, which is really weird. But I don't even know how I did that. I don't know how I managed to do that. So we have some options. And what I'd like to do this morning, well, actually now this afternoon, because it's now past noon, is discuss the options. I see 3 major options for what we can do right now to balance with Death Stranding 2. All right, let's talk about them. But before we do, let's do some shout outs because some contributions have come in. So let's do it. First of all, we have Prophet Oneer, who did a $2 super chat and says, get the money going. Thank you, Prophet Oneer, for that. Swordblade did a $2 super chat and is talking about big juicies. Well, good for you. You should stop looking at your mom. And then Prophet Oneer did a $1.50 super sticker of a black cat in the chat. So that's cool. Thank you, guys. We've got, so that's $5.50 in support right there. Shinkin25 tipped me $1. He says, what's your favorite memory of Dave Thomas? I think the coolest thing about Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, he used to be in his own commercials. Did you guys ever see any of those? He used to do these cool TV commercials where he would show off his new food and he would always play this like deadpan comedy character. Kind of like, do you guys remember Ben Stein at all? He's kind of very similar to the Ben Stein character, but it was funny the way that he would play off of other characters and things going on in the commercials. And it was always cool to see the real founder of an actual company in its own advertising. So that's what I remember most of Dave Thomas. So, and then Shinkin says, are you aware that Wendy's commented on the Takis Burger review that Review Bruh did, but not yours? Well, why would they ever comment on mine? They fucked up my order. The order was completely wrong. No creamed corn spread, dry as a desert. I'm pretty sure they don't want to comment on that. Right? What are they going to say? Oops. Oh, by the way, wow, the review did well. The review of the Takis menu at Wendy's has only been out for less than 24 hours for sure, like maybe 18, 19 hours. It already has over 1,000 views and a bunch of likes. So I guess people liked my review and that I was honest about it not having the cream corn spread and that it was dry as a goddamn desert. So there you go. So thank you, Shinkin, for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. Now, let's get some support rolling. We've got our first super chats. We got a $1 tip. Let's get our first membership of the day on YouTube. Let's get our first sub or subs on Kick. And let's beat these records. $2 for a super chat and a $1 tip. We can do better than that. Let's get some momentum rolling here today so that we can hit our goals and we can do the Grillo's pickle menu from Sonic on Monday. Let's do it. And they won't forget my Grillo's pickles at Sonic, I bet. I bet they'll remember those. There'll be loads of pickles. Delicious pickles. I can't wait. I actually really like pickles, so. Ben Stein, the Clear Eyes guy? Yes, the Clear Eyes guy. Correct. All right. Why do I always get screwed over by fast food places, Casanova? I don't know. I don't always. There's been some really good ones. Even in recent memory, right? We've done some decent fast food reviews, right? Like, hold on. For example, I don't know what's going on. Mod Pizza. That was actually a good one. I really liked Mod Pizza. Um, Red Robin was good, just messy as hell. The Scorpion Burger was actually pretty good. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I was shocked when we tried Little Caesars. I was shocked at how good it actually was. I wasn't expecting it to actually be good, and it actually was good. The Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Sandwich was really good, right? A lot of these have been quite good. Some are terrible. I'm looking at some that were really bad, but in general, these have been quite good. The fast food one. I'm actually wondering when we go back to Taco Bell, because you realize we're going to go back to Taco Bell for the Tony Hawk meals. I don't know, man. That one I might be dreading. All right. I don't know. So anyway, so, thank you for the support. Let's get some more support rolling this morning. Now let's talk. Okay. We need a new playthrough to balance with Death Stranding 2 until around the middle of July. Okay. So what should we play? Well, first off, no matter what we play, I want to do something that it would be okay that if we hit mid-July and it's not done, that we can put it on a hiatus and we can bring it back, okay? So I don't want to commit to say, hey, let's play a game that's so intensive that we have to be playing it every single stream to stay in the groove of it, and if we give it even like a few weeks rest and then we come back to it later, no one wants to see it. I don't want that kind of game, all right? Just being honest, I don't. I want a game where it would be easy to drop into it now, play it and have a good time, and then we can put it on hiatus and go back to it, all right? So I have 3 options I'd like to present to everyone for the idea, all right? So here's my ideas. Let's see what you guys have to think. I'm curious, all right? Option number 1 would be a game that I told you guys I would try my best to play over the summer, Suikoden 2 HD. The Suikoden 2 collection came out earlier this year. As I played through Suikoden 1 HD, you guys showed up and engaged and supported with it, and we actually hit a support goal every time I ever played it, which I was shocked. My jaw dropped. I never thought people would show up for classic RPGs. All right? So I would be fully down for Suikoden 2 and balancing that with Death Stranding 2 for a couple of weeks, and then put it on hold and maybe finish it after the fact. There'd also be no rush to finish it because it's an older RPG. Not a big deal, right? So that's number 1. Also, I'm done playing RPGs. So because of that, no RPGs, it could be the one RPG for the rotation. Do you see? It could work. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, Grand Theft Auto 4 on PC, but we're going to try to implement some mods. Okay? I hope I can get it working. I mean, this would be contingent on us actually finding and implementing mods that will work and make the playthrough viable and interesting on PC. But I think this would be a fun one to see Liberty City actually represented more realistically, better lighting, better graphics. And it would be a cool way to implement mods that I haven't yet. All right. And we talked about doing this. However, doing that one is taking a big chance. What chance? Well, there is rumors, strong rumors, that Rockstar is remaking GTA 4 as we speak, and that they're going to re-release it as kind of a lead-in to GTA 6. So it may actually come out next year, and if that's the case and I play GTA 4 with mods now, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because I'm not going to play it again next year. Do you see? So do we take heed of the rumor and say maybe we do it a little bit more apprehensively and we do a wait and see attitude and we don't do it? Or do we say, screw that, we want GTA 4 with mods, just do it, right? I'm not sure. What do you guys think, right? That's an interesting question. So it's a possibility, but I'm curious what your thought is, all right? Now, lastly, the last option would be to do what I set out to do very early on this year and kind of failed doing. If you remember, at the very beginning of 2025, there was a downtime for games. And I said, hey, I'm a PC gamer now. We can now do things we never did before. I want to play some games with mods. So why don't we play a Dark Souls game with mods? And we did. We did Dark Souls 1 with mods. The lighting and the graphics were much improved. But the other mod basically was a gameplay modifier that didn't change much at all. It ended up being very samey to real Dark Souls 1, almost identical, with a few tweaks here or there. It did end up disappointing because sadly, it wasn't what we had wanted to do. I was looking to do mods that would actually transform the game into something different or new, feeling like an original experience. So, what I'm presenting to you as an option is to play either Dark Souls 2 or 3 on PC with a mod that will change the game entirely. I don't want to play Dark Souls 2 and 3 again. I want to play a new game. And I know that there are mods. Excuse me. I know that there are mods that do that, that will actually change the game and turn it into a whole other experience. All right? So that's a possibility. So the options are Suikoden 2 HD, GTA 4 with mods, or Dark Souls 2 and 3, or one of those with mods to change the game experience. Now, we have a few days to figure this out because the schedule is Death Stranding 2 today and tomorrow. Excuse me, Death Stranding 2 tomorrow and Friday. Sorry, I misspoke. I'm off on Saturday. Death Stranding 2 again on Sunday. Blueprints on Monday. Okay? So basically, whatever we're doing, we'd be starting on Tuesday. So what do we want to do? The thing is that we can determine in the next day to 2 days, we'd have time then to research mods and things and figure it all out. We can't dilly-dally. That's the catch, is we can't really wait. We have to figure this out, okay? So I'm just curious what everyone's thoughts are. What's everyone's thoughts right now? What do you think? So let's see. Arietta says, finish Clear Obscure Endgame on Thursday. First of all, there's no way we could finish Clear Obscure Endgame. It's 20 hours long. Okay? We'd make a small dent in it or a chip on it if we played it. I want to give Clear Obscure a little bit of a break. We just played it for months and months. We've only been away from it for a week. All right, let's relax. I promise you, like I said, later on this year, if we end up having good weeks where it's a great profitable week, I make a lot of money or whatever. Hey, let's do a night where I know probably no one's going to support. Let's do a Clear Obscure night where we just chill with Clear Obscure. That's when we'll do it. So it's still there. It's still installed. It's ready to go on a moment's notice. But we're giving Clear Obscure a break for now. Okay? Okay. Iron Man the Power says, I would like to see you play Suikoden 2 to balance with Death Stranding 2. Okay. Demolition Daddy's down for whatever. AMS says GTA 100%. There you go. If you don't know what Suikoden is, go watch the playthrough of Suikoden 1. It's a turn-based JRPG from the PS1 era. It's got epic music. It's got awesome writing, really great plot, and you recruit over 100 characters. Pretty crazy game in that regard. So, pretty awesome. And actually, 2, I believe, if I remember correctly, is actually better than 1. So I actually would love to play 2. I've received a $2.50 tip from You're Not Funny. Would you consider bringing back DS Politics for a one-night only special? A lot of stuff to talk about. Trump and NYC's new mayor and blah, blah, blah. No. I tried DS Politics in the fall. I did it for over a month. It started off strong, and within 4 episodes, no one cared. We actually had an episode where I only made like $70 after having researched it all week, putting a ton of effort and time into it. No. It had its chance. People claimed for years they wanted DS Politics. I gave you DS Politics. No one supported it, so I don't care. That's me being honest with you, okay? I already put the effort in. I tried it. It didn't work. Why would I try it again when it didn't work the first time? All right? It doesn't make sense. We already tried. It's not like, oh, you didn't give it a shot. Why aren't you listening? I did try it. You guys didn't like it. So why would I try it again? Someone tipped me $1. Says play GTA 6 modded. I think they meant to say 4, but they actually wrote out 6. I'm a GTA 5 mod creator. You have a lot of fun. In addition, I can help you with tech support, and I can help you do something cool but small, like put your name and brand on the side of a cab or a police car. Imagine we change the cop car decals to DSPD. Anyway, cheers, mate. I'm just casting my vote. So he must have meant GTA 4. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's the kind of interesting stuff that I'd like to know what I should do or what I could do in the game, because I don't know. Realistically, I just don't know what's viable for mods. I don't even know what mods are available for GTA 4. All right, let's talk about this for a day or two. All right, let's get people's opinions. How about this? By the weekend, let's lock in at what we're doing. So that way there's some time to work on it and we can start it on Tuesday. Whether it's Suikoden 2 HD, whether it's GTA 4 with mods, whether it's a Dark Souls with mods. Let's talk about it for another day or two over the streams. I'm sure people will come by the streams and want to chat and have opinions and have suggestions, and we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. I agree. Dr. Eleven's World says, please play Suikoden because your playthrough earlier this year was awesome. I agree. I loved Suikoden 1. I cannot wait to play 2. Oh, this person tipped another buck, says, yes, I meant GTA 4 earlier, laughing out loud. My bad. There'll be loads upon loads of mods for the game. It depends on what your goals are. Make sure to install stuff that's been well tested for the version of the game you're on. Like I said, I do game dev stuff for 5, but 4 uses the Rage engine. I could still help you, and my buddies are from the 4 era. There's mods for everything, like graphics, gun mods, character mods, quality of life stuff, map mods, stuff to make it like other cities, bug fixes and polishes, new features. If you want to talk more, perhaps we can email. You could just shoot me an email, darksideful@hotmail.com. I would be looking for, number one, I want it to be obviously modern resolution. If we could play it at 4K, that would be beautiful. All right. Definitely, I want it to run smooth. So I want it to run at 60 frames, 4K. I want lighting updates because I know the lighting from GTA 4 era is way outdated. So anything, if there's like shader mods or something like that, I would absolutely love that. Obviously, upscaled textures, if available, unless, because the game would probably look blocky and shitty if not, right? As for like behavioral mods, like I was like anything that would make it seem more realistic, like real New York City. Like I think that GTA 4 did a good job, but this is very outdated at this point. So anything that would make it, more like that. Yeah, if there's updates to the way the gunplay works, game sounds, like updated sound effects and things like that, anything like that, I'm not looking to change the core game. The core game, I'd like to remain the same, the missions and everything, but any little tweaks to make it a little better, and of course, make it look and sound better, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I, kind of like what we did with Dark Souls 1 in January is actually what I would like to do with this playthrough. I don't want to change the game and the story and the characters and the missions, but I want the game to look modern and play modern, if possible. I think that would be pretty neat. We are doing the 4th of July event. It is called Indivestance Day. Yes, that is coming up, and that is going to be on Friday, July 4th. When are we getting to gameplay? After the podcast ends, fire. Just like always. This podcast runs till around roughly 1 p.m., and then we usually take a break, and then we jump into gameplay. And we're wrapping up Onimusha 2 HD today. No, NJZ, I don't want to do a superhero. See, that's what I mean. He said, we do a superhero mod, we add the Hulk and Iron Man to the game? No. No, I want to play GTA. I don't want to play a Marvel game. What's up, Adam? Good to see you. Good morning. How are you, dude? Big Boss did a $2 super chat, says, are you going to play Night Rain for a new boss tomorrow? Funny enough, if you guys didn't notice, Night Rain got completely phased out of my schedule. And did you notice nobody cares? You noticed that, right? It's exactly as I described. I said Night Rain is the kind of game that everyone will talk about for like a week, and then no one will remember it existed. I told you guys it wasn't Elden Ring. Elden Ring is different. This game not having any set dungeons, right? Always being a drop-in, drop-out battle royale style experience, It was all right. I enjoyed playing it for the week that we played it, but you know, you get to a point, it's like, well, there's not much you really care about anymore, you know? You knew I wasn't gonna dedicate a ton of time to it to get good at it. It was like a flavor of the week deal. Yeah, I tried a few characters. I was like, all right, I get it, and now we're done. And it was for them, let's be honest, for FromSoft, it's a cash grab. They're not going to sink an insane amount of resources and investment and time into it. It's an asset flip, you know? Can I mod it so Roman calls even more often? There you go. Roman just constantly calls. He never stops. Did I have a grip or case that I use for my Switch 1? No, actually. Well, I take it back. I had a Hori made a controller attachment for it, and I had the Hori attachments for the Switch. I did have that, but that was it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I played GTA 4. I can't remember when I last did. Let's see. It was a long time ago. 2019, 6 years ago. Yeah. And then there was the original playthrough that I did of it. That was ages and ages ago. The original I played on Xbox 360. The second run, the first one was 13 years ago. Wow. So it was 2012, my original run. And then the last run was 2019. And that was on Xbox One. Let's see here. Yeah, that definitely sounds like the camera. January 20th, 2013 was the first run ever of GTA 4 that I did. And then the second run, that's not it. That's the first run again. And that's 2019, which again, very different from today, what I do today. This one was August 11th, 2019. So it actually has been a full 6 years since I played GTA 4. And at that, what really sucked about it is that at that point, you couldn't comment on my videos. So even though I got good video views on the playthrough, you couldn't comment on the playthrough. People actually just commented on it 9 months later or 9 months ago because last year I was able to open up all comments on all my videos forever. So now you can comment on any video you want. And finally, people started commenting on the videos. Did I get the collector's edition of GTA 4? No. That was, GTA 4 came out before I was a YouTuber. So I actually just bought the standard edition and played the standard edition. I didn't actually get it at release. I got it after release when I heard it was really good. That was during the era I was retiring from competitive Street Fighter and I was trying to re-immerse myself in console gaming again because I hadn't been involved in it in nearly a decade. And I played games such as Mass Effect 1, BioShock 1, GTA 4, Blue Dragon, Tales of Vesperia. What else? It was like a crazy 6-month span where I played an insane amount of awesome games that I had missed out on. And I got re-immersed completely in gaming again. Okay, we got a little bit of time left, everybody. All right. Tag me in chat if you have some questions, some things or topics you want to talk about today to end the show. Let's figure out what our next game will be. I think we have a good idea, but I want to take in your opinions over the next couple of days. We'll figure it out by the end of Friday what we're going to be doing next, okay? Tomorrow night sounds like we're going to have a chill with Phil night where we'll hang out and we'll look at Steam games and determine if we want to try a couple of them. So a more laid-back, chill night tomorrow night. And the Grillo's Pickles collaborative menu at Sonic is the next DSP tries it at 40 goals. So there you go. We had a very productive show today. We figured a lot out. Adam says, I played GTA 4 so many times, it is insane. If PS3 and 360 had hours played on it, I bet it's around 10,000 hours. I still casually play it from time to time. Damn. So you just drive around messing around in the game in the city, not actually doing the missions. Hello to everyone over on Kick. Back of my head, what's up? Glizzy Gobbler wants to actually, he said he wants to do, wait, I'm so confused. He says, I'll donate GTA 6 to you. All I ask is for a shout out. Huh? You're going to donate GTA 6 to me, a game that's not out yet? And you want a shout out? How about this? Shout out to Glizzy Gobbler. I hear you like to gobble Glizzy. Sometimes I hear you do two at once. Pretty impressive stuff. Would you unhinge your jaw? Very nice. There you go. Tony, what's up? He says Big E is going to bring back NEC this year. I wasn't even aware that NEC didn't happen. I've been so disconnected from fighting games and the FGC. I had no idea that NEC ever ended. That's good to hear. Big E's an awesome dude. He always ran great tournaments. So that's good. Good for the Northeast for sure. For the fighting game stuff. Oh, he had heart problems? Oh man, that's hard. That's sad to hear. I hope he's all right. Like I said, one of the best guys in the FGC by hands down. I hope he's doing all right. Did I see 50 Cent is going to play Balrog in the new Street Fighter movie? No, I didn't see that. I'm not paying attention to that stuff. Am I interested in playing Dino Crisis 2? Eventually, sure. It's on PC, right? If it's on PC, yes. If it's not, then I don't know how I would play it. We played Dino Crisis 1 upscaled on PS5 Pro. So I don't know if 2 is on there or not. NJZ, at this point, I think we should officially say I'm probably not going back to Sea of Stars, which is really sad because I really liked the game. But already when we were playing it, it wasn't very popular. And I said to everyone I wanted to go back to it, and then look what happened. Like, I actually originally planned to going back to Sea of Stars last summer. And then look what happened last summer. Did we ever expect any of those events to go down that way? So things kind of went differently. And at this point, I don't think Sea of Stars is going to be viable to revive. It's a year and a half out. I don't even remember it. And Jay-Z's very sad. He's using the crying emo in chat. Do I have any thoughts on Metaphor versus Clair Obscur? Do I prefer one over the other? I think they were both great, more traditional turn-based RPGs. Different in execution, Clair Obscur being more action-based with dodging and parrying. Metaphor being more slower-paced turn-based, but although it had different elements in regards to, say, like I don't know what they were called. They weren't personas, but they were things that you would utilize in combat or whatever. So, Tony, dude, I live in Washington. There's no chance that I'm flying to the East Coast for NEC. Just for the record, I want to make that clear. Yeah, there's no way that I'm flying out there for that. maybe someday I would plan an East Coast return for an event and I would hang out with everyone. I mean, that's not out of the question, but at this point, probably not, anytime soon. Like a lot of people have said, would you ever do like one last hurrah tournament? I might, and I might actually announce it as my last hurrah tournament. Like I'm coming out of retirement to play, fighting games for like one last hurrah deal, and I could hang out with all the old school people and everything again, and that'd be neat. But not really looking at that right now. Did I ever play Haunting Ground? No, I did not. I've heard of it, but I've never played Haunting Ground. I actually did talk about Turok when it was announced. Oh, I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. What's up, Chris? How are you this morning? Or, excuse me, this afternoon. How's it going, man? Can I give a hint on what my background setup will be for next month? Well, actually, that's a good point. So because next week is kind of an in-between, like, let me think about this. Today's the 25th. So Sunday's the 30th, but then Monday would be, wait, no. I'm so confused. What are the dates coming up? Monday is the 30th. But then July starts on Tuesday. So I am going to update my setup this weekend, and when I come back on Sunday, I'll have the new backdrop. What I will do, I have two new lamps. I have another thing that glows and will implement a piece of my equipment as part of my setup in the background. Okay? So technically, I have 3 new things that will light up for the background, various things. I also have a few new decorations as well that don't light up, but also will pop and add to the background. So maybe what I will do for next month, I'll add 1 to 2 new elements, and then we'll have some return elements, okay? I can tell you this, the ghost will be going away. We will not have the ghost for July. he'll be retired, but we'll probably bring in maybe a new lighting element of some sort. Probably. We'll see. I'm debating if I like having the YouTube button here. I think it looks nice, doesn't it? So I'm debating keeping that, but I don't know if I should keep that all the time or if it might get boring if it's there every month. I don't know. Do I think I could be the #1 player in the world in Street Fighter 6 if I tried my absolute hardest? Probably not. Probably not. And to be honest, I just think it's a matter of stamina. I think I'm too old for it. The people who are the top players now, they're in their 20s. They're literally playing nonstop. They're traveling nonstop. Like, this is their thing. It's all they do. I don't think I could do it. I think I would get burned out and I would crash and burn. I'm not saying that if I really tried hard, I couldn't get good at the game and even go to tournaments in place, but I don't think I could consistently do it and be good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. It's too much. Even back in the day when I did it casually, I wasn't doing it full time. Street Fighter was always my hobby, not my job. Okay? Just practicing 2 times a week, going to arcades or going to a friend's house and grinding, and then going to, a tournament every once in a while. Even that, like, was just very, very tiresome. And you would get to points where you get so burnt out, you wouldn't want to play for months, These people today, they literally play non-fucking stop. It's all they're doing. I can't do that, man. Why have I been around for 17 years as a content creator on the internet? Because I don't just do the same thing every single day. Today, we're doing Onimusha 2 and a taxi driving simulator. Tomorrow, we're playing Death Stranding 2. Friday, we're doing Capcom vs. SNK 2. Next week, we're starting up a completely different playthrough. I'm doing variety. The variety is what keeps me interested. If I was doing the same thing nonstop, I would get so burnt out on it. And it seems like you just can't play stuff casually anymore and do well. Like, it's become a job and a lifestyle for these top players. So no, I feel even if I were to fully invest myself into a game like Street Fighter 6, I think I could get good at it. I could possibly become someone who goes to tournaments and beats and gets like top 5, but I don't think you would ever see me winning nationals and stuff like that. I just don't have it in me anymore, If I went to one last tournament for a game, what would it be for? Likely if I went to one last tournament, I'd like to play older games. Like if they had Third Strike, CVS 2, Marvel 2, Super Turbo, that'd be great. But yeah, I would also take my hand into whatever the new game is. So Street Fighter 6, if that's the thing, I would practice it a bit and try to do well in that, see if I could beat anyone. That'd be hilarious if I go to a tournament and I just beat a ton of people in Street Fighter 6. Like, what is going on? What is wrong with people? How would you allow an old washed-up guy like me to beat you in the modern game? That's sad. Oh, you will? Tony says he'll be available Friday night if you want to play. All right. Also, there's someone else. There's someone from my past, okay, who says that, just listen to this. They're claiming that years and years and years ago, back in the day when I was competitive, that we did a money match in Capcom vs. SNK 2, and I beat them. And they are salty about it, and they want a rematch. But I don't remember it. Like, I'm not saying it didn't happen because a lot of the times back in the day, I had a big mouth and I would just challenge everyone. But I seriously don't ever remember being good at CVS 2. So I don't think, why would I have challenged anyone to a money match in it? I'm confused. Like, Marvel 2, yeah, for sure. Super Turbo, absolutely. Even Third Strike, I remember challenging people. But I don't remember challenging people in CVS 2, but this guy insists I did. So he wants a rematch, and I'm thinking, maybe have a rematch with him, and then maybe play against Tony. We'll do some stuff Friday night. Sounds good. So I'll have to, I guess we'll have to start on PC because I switched to PS5 because on PC I can't find anyone anymore. But I guess we can maybe start on PC and then swap to PS5 after for the randoms or something. Or maybe we'll just do a one-off night where I just try to play on PC and see what happens. Did I ever have Tofu on DSP Tries It? I don't think so, Mozzie. Recently, I've had tofu in a Pokeball, and I actually found it interesting. Tofu by itself isn't good because it's very bland, but if you have tofu with like a good sauce or other good things, tofu tends to absorb flavor. So if you have it with like a chili sauce or a savory soy sauce, usually it'll taste like whatever the sauce is, and then it's pretty good. So it's not bad. No, I don't do money matches online. I'm not that stupid. There's absolutely no reason to ever challenge anyone to money online. It's too random. The connections are so funky in these fucking games today, particularly these older collections where I would want to do a money match, that it's not worth it. You know, imagine playing a match and the game fucks up. Oh, great. Now I lose the game and I lost to the connection, not the person. And fuck that. Not worth it. Try tofurkey on Thanksgiving? How dare you? How dare you even suggest such a thing? What a vile suggestion. Did I ever have European food on DSP Tries It? Recently we did the British food. Remember we did the meat pies and the sausage roll from that local place? Outside of that, no, we did like Hispanic food, like we did Venezuelan food. I'm trying to think what else we've done recently. I don't think so. I don't think we did much because there isn't a lot of European food out here. That's the problem. Like, there actually was a French restaurant. They went out of business. There's just not a lot of European stuff at all. I live in Washington State, which is a hub for Asian culture. So there's a million different kinds of Asian cuisine out here to try, but nothing really European. So, really, Adam says, I remember when you tried Indian food, it made me go try it myself, and what you got, it was so very good. I know. I love Indian food. My wife and I don't get it that often, but when we do, we love it. Maybe we should get it this weekend. I'm aware there is an Onimusha 3, but currently I don't believe it has a modern version. I think it's just the originals, and then, like, you know, it was on console emulated, but I don't think you can play. I don't think there's a modified version for it yet. So if they ever redo Onimusha 3, like they just did 1 and 2, I would play it, but I don't think that you can do it right now. All right. Any last minute ideas? Any last minute topics? Anything you guys want to talk about? Any last minute contributions, considering we're at $14 right now? Not very good. No. All right. All right. Let's wrap it up then. Fine. I've had enough. I've had enough of all of you. I've had enough. How dare you? I've been sitting here talking with you for 90 minutes about interesting topics, and this is how you reward me? How could you? I'm very upset. And now you're going to hear about it all day long. No, we're not going to bring back the bubble guns for the Vest Marathon. I said, we can't do bubbles in here anymore. That was the one thing, like, putting on a silly hat and a vest or a silly pair of glasses, who cares? It's silly stuff. I can't be squirting bubbles in my office with this equipment in here. I have 2 PCs that are worth over $2,000 each. I've got a PS5 Pro. I've got expensive-ass keyboards, mice, RGBs all over the office. I can't be squirting bubbles and fucking destroying my office. So we're not doing bubbles. No. Okay. All right, guys. That is it for the show. Quick reminder, there is no podcast tomorrow. For tomorrow is the release day of Death Stranding 2, and we'll be focusing on that to get good 4+ hours of gameplay in on that first stream. All right, so FYI, no podcast tomorrow. But I will return on Friday, and Friday's podcast will be a good one because we're going to be talking about all the announcements that Capcom is going to do tomorrow afternoon, including updates on Pragmata, Resident Evil Requiem, and Street Fighter VI's upcoming Season Pass. So, I hope that you guys will join me nice and early on Friday morning for a very fun React-filled podcast. But have a good one, and I hope you will stick around and join me for all the gameplay fun that I'll be doing today and tomorrow. Everyone, have a good one, and peace out.